At the lunch, we are moving towards the last two important sessions of the Vision Summit 2014. And this session is about the challenges to build Esdm ecosystem in India. The moderator and all the panelists are all ready. It's my pleasure to request the moderator, Mr. Vivek Tyagi, to kindly come over, Director Business Development, SanDisk, and of course the Treasurer of Iesa. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
I would also request Mr. Satendra Singh, Head of Manufacturing Operations India, Nokia Siemens Network. Welcome to you, Mr. Satendra Singh.
Satendra, welcome.
I would now request Mr. Mitul Rustagi, the General Manager India and SEA Electronics, Johnson Controls. Welcome to you, and also to Dr. Sundar Kamat, Senior Vice President Technology, Sanmina SCI, I beg your pardon, and Mr. Sanjeev Narayan, Chairman and Managing Director, 5G5 Techniques.
Welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before the panel takes over, a brief introduction about the moderator. Mr. Vivek Tyagi has got more than 2 decades of experience in distribution, sales and customer relations functions. In his earlier assignment as country sales director at Freescale, he led the India sales team efforts to drive business for Freescale products in the embedded markets with clear focus on networking, automotive, industrial and consumer markets. As I announced earlier, he is presently the Director Business Development SanDisk and also the current Treasurer of IESA. Indeed, he led the market research team that developed the F&S report last year. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for our moderator Vivek Tyagi and the entire panel.
Thank you.
I would now hand over the session to Mr. Tyagi to take us through. Over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. How was the lunch? If the lunch was good, I think it's really a challenging session for the panel to keep everybody active and alive. And I'm sure with the eminent panelists around me, they should be doing a good job. So the format of panel is going to be that I introduce you to fellow panelists as they come and speak for about 10 minutes on their views on a particular topic that we are discussing today, challenges to building Esdm ecosystem in India. And once the panelists have shared their views, then we go over for a quick discussion on some of the points that emerged out of the discussion. Also, we open up for the audience. Audience participation is utmost importance to seek clarification on your doubts and views. So, as you heard yesterday, theme of this year's Vision Summit is really consumption to creation. So, this panel is a subset of the same theme, Esdm ecosystem challenges in India. So ISA has done several reports, and as per one of the ISA research report, Esdm size of the market in 2015 is expected to be somewhere around 94 to 95 billion US dollar, and as the Indian economy and GDP grows, it will continue to grow with it rapidly. Now the design part, I think India is fairly well known in the world for its design and talent in the technology industry. Manufacturing part, however, has been a challenge. If you look at more data from ISA side, 65% of the electronics that's being consumed in India last year or this year is being imported. And out of the balance 35%, as you have heard, is also a low value added manufacturing piece today, not the high value added manufacturing where you design everything here, do everything here and sell everything here. So definitely there are some positive sides to India in last 10 years, or a decade, about the talent, about the design, about the global R&D factory of the world. There are also the challenges at the same time on the manufacturing and self-sustainability of electronic side. So the purpose of this panel is, this panel will seek to address some of these issues. It will seek to discuss some of the challenges being faced by different pieces of verticals of electronic industry, and then collectively as the panelists should come up with some of the suggestions to IESA as an industry body and to the government how we can address some of the issues. I think with that I will start introducing my fellow panelists to you. So first, on my extreme right side is Mr. Satendra Singh, who heads the manufacturing operations for Nokia Networks, which used to be earlier Nokia Siemens Network, which is the piece of Nokia business that does the cellular base stations. He's based at Chennai, and prior to this, Satyendra was heading the operations of Flextronics in India and has a long experience with electronics manufacturing side. So Satyendra, I'd like to invite you on the dais to share your views, and then we move on to the next panelists. So can you please put up the slides for Satyendra and give him a round of applause?
Thank you, Vivek. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, like Vivek said, you have had a good lunch, and then we have a tough task ahead, and I have been nominated to keep you interested in the session, so I'll try to do my best. And I have 150 slides, like Ian said yesterday, so bear with me. Is that fine, hopefully? No? I understand that it's not fine, so we have only 7 slides. Okay? And yes. So, well, I'm very well aware, I was trying to look at the guests, and I did meet some of you during the lunch and the breaks yesterday and today. So I do recognize that we have a hall which is full of very experienced and very senior professionals. So I do make a disclaimer that I don't have all the solutions, but I do have a lot of questions. So I'll put some questions and try to put some answers in my presentation. So as you see, my presentation is manufacturing. It is possible to be world-class. Obviously, I have an inherent bias. I'm a manufacturing guy, been there quite long in manufacturing, like Vivek said. So I would stay to that side of the story. So, engineer's challenge. First thing, it doesn't work, that's fine. But while this is getting ready, like I said, I would stay on the positive side of the story. So, it is clear that there are a lot of things to be done. A lot of things can be done, should be done, could have been done, and so on. But my thought is more on what can be done, what has been done, and in particular, I would kind of talk a little bit about NSN, what we have done over the last 6 years or so of manufacturing in India. So, let me see if it works. It does. So, we have a facility in Chennai, and I would take this minute or so to do my sales pitch for NSN. Like many of you probably would like to know what we do. So, a minute of that. We have a facility in Chennai, which we believe is state of art. We have invested 55 million plus, and it's growing every month. Every time we introduce a new product, it grows. It's about 35 acres of land, about 1,200 odd people who are working to manufacture the products which we believe, and they truly are world-class. We supply the products to NSN global customers. It's not a facility which is making a product focused on Indian market or any particular market. It's a global facility. We do manufacture products which are latest state of art, and that means we are talking about 2G, of course. We are talking about 3G, and let me mention that on 3G, we were right in time when India was about to launch 3G networks in India. We were already manufacturing it for some of our global customers. So we do support NSN India to make sure that we are bringing the products to the customers in India as and when they need it. We also manufacture LTE products, and before I forget, we manufacture the multi-radio products also. These are the products wherein you don't need to change the hardware, put them up in the network, and as and when you need, depending on what capacity of which technology you need, 2G, 3G, or LTE, you could configure them from your remote centers. This facility has won a couple of awards last year, and before that as well. We were proud recipient of Rajiv Gandhi National Quality Award in 2013, which was given to us in April. We got Platinum Award from E.T. Frost & Sullivan in India Manufacturing Awards in 2013, December again. So all in all, we would like to believe that we have a world-class facility. Few words about NSN. Some of you were asking me during the break as to what is NSN. So we are Nokia Solutions and Networks. We are today 100% owned by Nokia. We are a part of Nokia, and this part of Nokia business stays with Nokia. It does not have anything to do with the divestment of the business to Microsoft. We employ about 15,000 odd people in India. We have a large design center here in Bangalore, manufacturing in Chennai, 2 global delivery centers for customer support and services in Chennai and in Noida, and several other engineers to support our customers in India. So it's a large family, and we are doing our best to support the ecosystem in India. Now, coming back to manufacturing, like I said, we did not wait for any initiative to be taken by other companies. We were ahead. We were very well clear in our heads as to what we want to do. We decided to set up the facility to support our Indian customers. And then we went ahead and we started the manufacturing for exports as well. So in next slide, what I would do is, like I said, I would cover a little bit about the supply chain, and then I'll have some questions and a little bit of answers. So if you look at the manufacturing, okay, I got it. So manufacturing, what is manufacturing? If you oversimplify it, it's about the company who has some suppliers and who has a set of customers. Oversimplified version, but that's not enough. There are lots of building blocks, significant building blocks. The first one, if you look at, is the infrastructure which you have in the country, often talked about to the disadvantage of our country, but yes, that does play a role. People, the kind of talent we have, strategy of the company from the business perspective, and I would dwell a little bit on that in the next slide. About regulatory regime, we are talking about the policies, the processes, taxations, and so on, but I would stay clear of this because I would not be covering all the different aspects. And a little bit about the international situation.